I forgot to mention also, in addition to these three receiving their first communion today, there's two out in the family car in the parking lot who will be receiving their first communion as well. Becky, and I'm sorry I forget the other child's name. But as we gather today, last week, Father James began his homily with a little antidote about me doing all the grocery shopping and keeping the refrigerator well stocked for him and keeping him well fed. And very thinly he applied that to his homily. So this week I thought I would return the favor and tell a little anecdote about him, but it has absolutely nothing to do with my homily. In Father James' first 6 days here at Our Lady of Mercy, I got him to do something that I couldn't get Father Mark to do in 3 years. He went on a bike ride with me. We went 8 miles. I didn't want to wear him out on that further because, but he hasn't gone on a bike ride since. So. Today's gospel is a pair of parables. Say that quickly. A pair of parables 3 times. Pair of parables, pair of parables, pair of parables. There's the story Jesus tells of the man who just stumbles across a buried treasure in a field. And he is so excited about it because he's found something really valuable. And he goes and sells everything he has so he can afford to buy that property because he knows there is something of great value there. The other, a merchant who is continually searching for the best pearl ever, the one that would put all others to shame. And he's diligent in his search. He keeps at it. He keeps going until he finds it. And then he sells everything he has so that he can buy that pearl. So both in Jesus telling these parables, both the pearl and the buried treasure stand for or mean what will most bring us happiness in life. And that is salvation, our relationship with God. Now, while both of these parables are very similar, there's also differences. And I think the differences of these two parables speak a message to us today. As I said, in the man searching for pearl, fine pearl, and diligent, we search for God diligently. In our prayer, in our participation at Mass, in our care for the poor. And then there's other times where we stumble upon God. These two parables really speak to the experience of our life. How do married couples find each other? Well, today, a large number of couples go on those dating websites. Match.com, Catholic couples or Catholic singles, or there's many of them. I've never looked at them, mind you. And they search. They're constantly wanting to search to find that life partner. And they go to all the social gatherings and to the singles bars and all these places looking for the right person. It's a diligent search. And sometimes it works. But then there's the one who, just by a chance conversation at a cousin's wedding, and the rest is history. Or what about couples who have a difficulty conceiving children? Some couples will try every medical advance there is, every medical procedure, everything. They so much want to have a child. And sometimes it works. But I can't tell you how many times that I've had couples tell me that they've gone through all this and have had no success, and eventually come to the point of resignation that they probably won't be able to have a child, and then all of a sudden it works. So these parables tell us about how God works with us and how we should respond to God. As I said, we search for God. We search for that precious, most prized possession of our life is to have a relationship with God. And we search. We go to Bible studies. We read the scriptures. We go to church retreats. We go to Alpha. We go to Mass. All kinds of ways in which we search for God. And most of the time, they work. We find God in our lives. We are comforted by God in our lives. We sense the presence of God in our lives. But then, there are times in our life where God seems absent, where we seem that our prayers don't bring us any closer to God. We almost feel abandoned. But then, there comes that most unexpected phone call from a friend you haven't heard from in a long time. Or that most unexpected news that your son and daughter-in-law are expecting their first child. Or an incredible sunset that makes you stop in your path. You weren't searching for God, just like the man who found the treasure in the field. He wasn't searching for the treasure, he just stumbled upon it. And God will work that way in our lives as well. So these parables today challenges us to, yes, keep searching for God. We should never stop searching for God. But remember that God searches for us. And oftentimes, that's found most unexpectedly. So let the God of surprise touch your hearts this day.